Hey everybody, wanted to share with you a sneaky Sloppy Joe recipe, and this idea was given to me actually by a friend, and this just goes to show you that substitutions in cooking are really not that difficult. So if you want to try to cut some sugar, Sloppy Joes are traditionally made with like brown sugar and Worcestershire sauce and ketchup and mustard, and some of those things are pretty high in sugar content, and Worcestershire sauce I believe has soy in it. So this is kind of like a healthier version. She actually made it vegetarian with lentils, but this is a great way to sneak some really good quality things into a dish that your kids will not even realize is there. So I'm just going to give you the basics. Now I did use some ground beef in mine. We bought a cow not long ago, and I always have a lot of ground beef, so I'm looking for different ways to use that. So this is how I did it. I cooked the ground beef off first, and then I like to drain the fat off of it. And then I put some mushrooms in it just because, again, here's the mushrooms. I think these are shiitakes maybe. You could use whatever you want. You don't even have to use them, but I'm not a big fan of mushrooms. I eat them because they're good for me, but this again is a great way to hide them, so I can't even really tell they're there. So then I sauteed my mushrooms with some peppers, garlic, onion, and ginger. And then once that softened, I added the beef back to it. Now, here was the trick that she did, and I love this idea. She took some dates, pitted dates, and she cooked them in a little bit of water till they got soft, and then she dumped them in the NutriBullet and pureed them into a liquid, and then added it to her mixture. So you're not adding, brown sugar or white sugar or even the sugar that's in the ketchup. You're adding powerful nutrients here. These are very high in manganese and magnesium and calcium and fiber and all kinds of great nutrients, and once they're pureed, you have no idea that they're in there, and they lend a little bit of sweetness to the dish. Now, she used tomato sauce. I used a little bit of tomato paste. I didn't want it quite as tomatoey as hers, so mine isn't quite as red as hers. And then I cooked about 1/4 cup of red lentils. And incidentally, they only take about 15 minutes to cook, but incidentally, after I cooked them, they went from red to white. I don't know why, but they did. So by the time I folded them in to the dish, you cannot even tell they're in there. Again, high in protein, high in fiber, good stuff that the kids don't know they're in there if you don't tell them. So this is a really great way. I'll go ahead and post the recipe. I'll just kind of type it in the comments or something on how I made it, and then I would encourage you to play around and experiment. If you don't want to put mushrooms, put something else in there. But some things maybe your kids aren't crazy about, this is a great way to hide it. Now, we like to eat it just like that. You could serve it on little whole grain slider buns or gluten-free hamburger buns or something like that if kids are used to eating it that way. But I just kind of like to eat it right like that. I like it like that. So just plain by itself. You can put a lettuce cup if you want to, or you could serve maybe some rice or quinoa alongside of it if you want to. So I hope you guys give this recipe a try. It was absolutely delicious, and I'm not a fan of Sloppy Joes. I never have been. I used to make them a lot when the kids were little, but I just never cared for them. But I really like this one. So give it a shot. Thanks for tuning in.